Hello good people of the internet, and welcome to this, the inaugural episode to my updated series on how to build a photography website using WordPress. Wait a minute, before you start thinking this series is not for you because you don't want a photography website, there will be plenty to learn for everyone. Just maybe skip the episode where I talk about galleries, but make sure you subscribe because a lot has changed since I first uploaded a video on how to install and configure WordPress almost a year ago. Let me tell you, you will not want to miss out on this series because I have learned so much from working with WordPress since then. In today's episode, we won't actually be building anything, but I will take a few minutes to talk about what to expect from the series, and I also have a few words to share on how I host my websites now that some of them have grown beyond what I thought would be possible for a mere simpleton such as me. In the video following this one, which I'm hoping to release in a week, we are going to be properly starting off this project. I will be telling you which theme you will want to pick for your website, and while I'm at it, I'll give you a few ideas to get you going. Following that, I'll show you how to create a contact form and newsletter, how to build a blog page and bio, and how to secure and optimize your website. If you do decide to enroll in my curriculum, it's best I let you know what exactly you're in for. The best way of doing that is to tell you about my principles when building websites with WordPress. If I had to sum up those principles in one word, it would be clean. And if I could add a few more words, those would be fast and bloat free. Not just the design of my website has to be clean, but everything about it. I don't overload my websites with plugins, animations and pop-ups. I try to keep everything to a minimum. The speed of a website is of essence. And all this talk about speed nicely brings me to the first topic I want to discuss: hosting. It is in the name of speed that I recently changed the host of my top site. Yes, I am now one of those annoying people on Twitter who keeps telling you to switch to Kinsta. And you might rightfully call me a hypocrite or flip-flopper for exactly that reason. I used to believe that us webmasters, as we were once called, should have the maximum amount of control because, you know, if someone else does it, it's a point of failure because they're not you. But at some point I asked myself, why? What difference does it make if I set up the database or the good people at Kinsta do it? And what's that saying again? Time is money. And if I'm attempting to make money from my content, which I am, why exactly am I faffing about fine-tuning my cache and cleaning databases and whatnot? And that's how I ended up with Kinsta. What differentiates your standard managed hosting provider from Kinsta is that Kinsta is a new breed of managed hosting, specializing in one thing only: WordPress. It is a managed WordPress hosting provider. What that means is that Kinsta will take care of the nitty-gritty. They will even move your site from your existing host for you. Admittedly, it's not the hardest of tasks, but you would have to sit there and download all of your content from one server and then upload it to the other, make all the adjustments, etc. And if something goes wrong while Kinsta is doing it, you've got the experts already there working on it. So why would anyone ever not use Kinsta, you might be asking yourself? The answer to that question is pricing. Kinsta isn't cheap. For the $30 I pay Kinsta monthly, I could get a shared hosting plan with 200 gigs of SSD storage, unlimited traffic, unlimited WordPress installations, and the ability to send 2,000 emails an hour. On Kinsta, I get 10 gigs of storage, only one WordPress installation, and 25,000 monthly visits. But what I don't get from my shared hosting plan is a host that uses the Google Cloud platform, and you know, Google has servers everywhere. I won't be getting a host that allows me to enable a content delivery network in 25 locations with just a single click, and I won't be getting a host that does all the dirty work for me. There are other cheaper managed WordPress hosts out there. The developer of my favorite theme recommends SiteGround as an alternative. I've never used SiteGround, so there is nothing positive or negative I can say about it. They do offer a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're interested in giving them a go. Incidentally, Kinsta does exactly the same. But Liam, what you're doing isn't any different than using a page builder like Wix or Squarespace. In a way, you might be right. But you're definitely wrong. Despite the similarities such as the ease of use and not having to set up databases or upload files using FTP, this is still WordPress. I still have access to all the themes and plugins. I can take my site and host it somewhere else. I can edit any file, add my CSS and bulk download media. Furthermore, I can create my own theme or have someone create a theme just for me. I can use any fonts I want. I can integrate just about anything. It's just WordPress with benefits. One last word on Kinsta and I promise I'll move on. Early on, I was experiencing some massive issues with my site. At no fault of Kinsta, it was partially me and partially my domain registrar. Basically, what happened was that my website was down. Let me tell you, Kinsta's support was amazeballs. I was online with Ruby, one of Kinsta's support engineers, for hours, and they even told me what exactly I had to tell the registrar support and sent me screenshots and did everything for me. By the end, I was so pleased and relieved that I had a few nice words to say about them on Twitter. A couple of weeks later, I get this handwritten letter and a bunch of stickers from Theodora at Kinsta thanking me for what I had to say. Isn't that amazing? Thanks Theodora. I'm sorry I'm not someone who plasters stickers on their laptop, but the bottom of my keyboard now lets everybody know what is good. And that's it for our first lesson. My advice as someone who used to set up everything manually is to get yourself a managed WordPress host and save yourself the hassle. That is, if time is of essence. If you don't want to go with the likes of Kinsta or SiteGround, my previous video on installing WordPress on any host still holds up. Nothing has changed there. And with that, it has been just about enough from me for one day. As always, thank you for watching, and if you did indeed enjoy this video, please remember to whack that like button. But if you didn't like this video, hit the dislike button twice to make it extra impactful. I've been Liam Alexander Coleman, and this has been me talking about WordPress hosts. You have not been Liam Alexander Coleman, but I will see you in the next one. Bye!